It might be in the way for a minute, but that's all right. Now all I'm doing with this, once I get a little bit of paint on the brush, and I'm just working the paint because it did add a little extra reducer. I wanted to get it to a point where it starts pulling smoothly and I stop seeing as many bubbles as I'm seeing. That might take a minute. Or it might just work right away. Good. Alright, so I've got my paint consistency where I want it. So now we start striping. I'm going to move that around a little bit. Especially with these first couple lines, I'm probably going to use this glove quite a bit. I'm going to try to do as much of this without moving this as possible. Because I do have a camera vertically above it right now. Alright. So that's oodles of fun, right? I'm going to do the other one just like that. Once I do some degree of symmetry to it. I'll stop that one there. Let's make this one a little bit more. You know, I'm just going to keep this one super simple today. Okay, I'm not going to do anything super crazy with the design, especially right now, because this is only our first color. Alright. So how are we feeling about that so far? I know, super amazing. Really nothing though. It's like you guys can't hear me or something. And I promise that's going to continue. Because everybody likes the squeak, right? It's your favorite, I know. Yeah, it's not perfect. It'll work. I am doing what's called pinstriping. Now that you asked. Yeah. It's a line design art form that typically resides on cars and motorcycles, but I'm doing this on a piece of alcohol paper. But I use a little tiny paintbrush to do what I'm doing. Okay, let's do one of these. One last one. Okay. Let me throw one more on the other side of that one, and we'll make that one symmetrical-ish. Now, part of why I'm doing what I'm doing right now is that I'm shooting the live video so that the live video can get posted. And I want to see what people's reactions are, or what people think differently of the way that I edit the long form videos versus the way that the live video ends up being. Alright, that is enough of that. So let's get this next color of paint ready to go. I think we're just going to use yellow. Alright. Mine's dead. The heat. This might not be the optimal way of doing this, This is not going to reach, is it? Hell no, it's not going to reach. Alright then. This is also probably the wrong way to do this, but that's alright. Alright. It's almost dry. Okay. There's one color down. So let's get my next color. It's gonna be this ugly yellow. It's not ugly, it's just definitely not my favorite color. Now I can get away with using just a tiny bit, I think. Because I'm not going to be... What is this? Talk to your pets. What pests? Wait. Anyhow. Oh man. I appreciate nobody being in here. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. That's cool, I guess. Alright. Let's grab that paintbrush and let's do this second color. We're still a little bit tacky. That's going to be okay. I'm going to try to keep my hands out of the paint as much as possible. Knowing that I'm going to mess that up right in the middle there. It's okay. I'm going to put the colors a little bit out of order when I go to fill this back in anyhow. I hope my shoulder's not too much in that shot. There probably is. That's okay. Let's do... Yeah, let's do one of these here. Oops. That's how we fix that. Alright, let's do one from inside here. Okay. So far, so good. Well, hey, so far, so good. If there is anybody in that chat box, feel free to speak up. I could use the distraction while I'm doing this. And for reference, I am just Gen X enough that if you really feel the need, you can say you're ASL, and I won't be mad at you for doing it. Or you could not. That's fine too, I guess. Ooh, the paper's a little wrinkly, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's probably from me using the heat gun on it. That's okay. I can still work with it. Nothing. Nobody, huh? Don't want to talk. That's fine. Okay. I'll just keep working. I might babble about some nonsense, but I guess I'll just keep working, huh? Okay, so yeah, that one's fine. Not really my favorite. That one was a little bit didn't work right. That's okay though. They don't all have to be perfect. They just need to be the right color, I guess, for today. So I'm sort of conducting two completely different experiments at the same time. The first one is I want to see what is preferred, the live videos or the long form videos when I actually sit down and edit it. Just watching a master at work. Dang, that's dude, you guys are so awesome. Thank you very much. I might disagree with you a little bit, but then at the same time, no, I don't. Now I'm trying to figure out, because see, I do a lot of content on here, on YouTube specifically, about how to do this. And I've been reviewing a lot of the brushes and things like that. And I'm just kind of getting a little tired of doing that. So what I wanted to see is one, if I can have fun doing this. And two, if you guys like it. Because if I'm having fun with it and you guys like watching it, well then we're just good to go. I'll just keep doing it that way. Now if the long form videos take off and people actually start watching like just the whatever the video is that's going to result from this, well then I guess we'll go from there. Because as tedious it is as it is, I still need to get better at editing, and I do like filming. Okay, that one's a little wonky, but that's okay. I think that's about enough of the yellow for this one. All right. So I think for this next bit, I'm going to be able to do, we're going to do orange, but I'm going to do it kind of, let's see. Yeah, I'll be able to reach that. That'll be fine. So white can go back up on the shelf. Don't need blue or violet yet. Let's put them out. All right, so we're going to use orange. This is Ronin striping urethane, in case you were wondering. So I know you were deeply concerned as to what brand paint do you use? Well, that's your answer. That's the brand of paint I'm using. Now, let's pop that back up on the shelf before I make a mess. All right, this is just a catalyst. It is their overall hardener, which I kind of like the fact that it doesn't smell like one. And then we're gonna put a couple drops of reducer in there just so I can get this guy silky smooth. And then you're enjoying so far, mate. It takes time to build a live following. You know, I'm 100% sure that you are correct about it taking a while. Because over on one of the other apps that I do a lot of videos on, I'll get a few thousand people following, but I'll have next to 0 interactions in there. And that's fine, because I catch myself holding my breath while I'm painting. So it's not like I'm like the most talkative while I'm doing it. And I am definitely a lot more gorilla shaped than most people. So I try to stay off camera as much as possible, you know? Okay, got that guy all cleaned up. I had to clean this brush over here so I don't have paint there in my face while I'm doing it. As much as I love huffing that stuff. All right, so we've got this orange. Look at that. Look at that. That is a fantastic looking orange. I like that one. Okay, this one's gonna be a little bit tougher. So we're gonna start it in here. Yeah, not even close. I thought I was gonna run over that freaking yellow stripe. I was not. And that is quite all right. I did run over the yellow a bit though, inside of here. That's all right, because I'm gonna throw some red around the edges of it. This centerpiece is just gonna be all the colors, so you see what colors I used. But I thought the yellow was too close to the white, so I wanted to make sure that we put something in there a little bit less. We're going to work a little bit backwards on this, because we can. Because this thing is going to be a hodgepodge of colors. It just is. I accept that. I am aware of that. You're witnessing it. You know what I did not do? I don't think I formatted my 2 freaking SD cards in my other cameras. That might be a bad thing. 2 hours and 37 minutes. I don't know about the other one, but the other one's still going, so that's fine. And then this one up here seems to be doing just fine. So, now, what we're gonna do though, we're just gonna pull a couple of these just in from that outer edge. Okay. And then we're gonna come down here. All right. Sorry, I had a call. I forgive you for having a call. That's fine. That's quite all right. Tell them I said hi, though. Was it at least a fun call? So I almost never get fun calls when I'm on a live. I always get the opposite of fun calls. All right, let's pull right. Let's make this one just a little bit thicker. All right. Let's tie that one up a little bit. I just realized how incredibly glossy that is, and that is not going to change. Okay, that's just glossy. It's just going to be glossy, and I'm sorry, but you're going to have to look at that shine. My bad. You know what? Let's not tie that up at all, actually. Let's just leave that guy as is. Okay. Watching on the bus ride to work. You're watching paint dry on the bus ride to work, by the way. Let's grab that heat gun again. I'm gonna try this. Gonna try this. Because I kind of warped the paper a little bit last time. All right. You know, I'm not going to put this all the way back. We're going to leave this guy over here so I can get to the gas. That way I don't have to walk all the way across the garage. Okay, maybe it doesn't want to sit on that shelf. That's fine. All right, so our next color, we're going to use Ronin's Red. Just, it's regular red. Oh, cherry red. Cherry red. My bad. Cherry red. All right, let's get this guy. Let's get all the orange out of that paintbrush. All right. And yes, I'm going through quite a few cups today. I gotta make sure I do my chemicals right. Tons of cups, very little paint. Go figure, right? Couple of drops of hardener. This one's a little bit thicker than the orange was, so we're gonna add a few drops of that reducer. How long have I been doing this for? My first car show was in 2011. I could not tell you when I actually started. My first car show, though, was 2011. And let's be real about it, I wasn't all that great back then. So, I had a lot of learning to do. I still have a lot of learning to do. Of course, I think anybody who says they don't have learning to do is the person who should stop doing it. So, you know, there's that. Alright, I'm cleaning off my brush over here. Alright, brush is ready to go. Let's get some red paint on here. This palette's getting juiced up too. Well, probably. I think there's a lot of people that have tried to convince me that they were extremely masterful at what they do with this stuff. And then every time I pulled a paintbrush, I was doing things that they couldn't. And I got used to that. You know what, we're just going to do one from down here. How about that? But I came to this realization that a lot of people that claim to be masterful of what they do are only masterful in their own minds. And that's fine. I mean, if your ego needs that kind of stroking, then, hey, you know, that's you. I just choose to feel things a different way, I guess. But I think it's also that if I ever stop learning, or if I feel like I've learned all that there is that I need to learn, then it's time for me to do something else. I mean, mostly because at that point I'm going to get bored with it. But I also think that when a person starts to feel that they are the master of what they are doing, I think their artwork has a tendency to stagnate in that point. Nobody wants to do stagnant work. That's not fun. It's not even mildly entertaining. It's just bleh. Nobody likes that. I sure don't. Ooh, that one came out really clean. Well, see, even right now, I may just be pinstriping, and I'm not doing anything super crazy with this. Admittedly, I don't like to use more than 2 colors, and I'm definitely using more than 2 colors. Oh yeah, I got a few airbrushes. I just recently started using one of those Black Widow ones from Harbor Freight. I'm still not 100% sold on that airbrush, but now do I do like portraits or anything like that with them? Not so much. Because that is definitely an area that I need a lot more practice in. I'm aware that I needed a lot more practice in it. we kind of like how that's shaping up. I like that little section right there. I like the way that worked. Now, we're going to pull one from here, though. Ooh, I like that one. That one came out very crispy. Ooh, that one did too. Are we good for 4? Are we good for 4? Are we good for 4? Almost. But that's all right. I'm not trying to get this thing to be completely flawless. I'm just trying to get this thing to do what it does. Okay, where else? I need at least one more. Let's do one. Let's do one right here. We'll stop it right there. I think this one we'll do, we'll just kind of give it a little flare. We won't do anything super crazy with this one. And then we'll pull it into a nice sharp teardrop. That one looks clean. I like that one. That one did good. Well, I appreciate you. Because see, when I'm looking at this thing, I look at it on an almost microscopic level. So I see every tiny little deficiency in what I'm doing. And then I have to learn to not do that. Okay. Okay. I feel like that is as far as that needs to go with those. You know, I think we're safe to pull a couple of flares off of that red. We're going to pull a couple of just nonsensical lines off of that. And I'm just going to let them die out on the edges. So what I mean by that, I'm just going to come over here to the edge. We'll do it about 1 inch in. And I'm going to pull a real thick, heavy line, and I'm just going to pull it to that tip. Just like that. And we're just going to leave that line as is. I'm not going to add anything to that one. Okay, that one works. It's not the best. You can definitely clean this up right in here. Okay, so far we have the Roy part of the Roy G. Biv. Anybody is familiar with that term? That is the color spectrum. I swear there's a hair hanging off the back of my elbow right now. It's driving me insane. Okay. Gonna take the heat gun again. I'm gonna blast this guy real quick. And I'm not worried about getting this thing all the way dry by any means, because we're just gonna come in with more colors. I just want to get a little bit airflow on it. Just so that way it's at least not gonna bleed when I do the next batch of colors. Because at this point, I'm not pulling any more of the long straight lines. I mean, I'll pull a few, but you'll see how those go. Okay, so now Roy G. Biv, just so you guys understand, that is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Which by that logic, my next 2 colors ought to be these guys. Let's start with this one, shall we? Look at that, nice lime green. It's not quite like the sublime green that Duck Door has made famous, but it is a nice lime green, and I do like it. All right, let's get that brush cleaned out. And let's see, I do actually have both blue, indigo, and violet, don't I? One of these is. Maybe I don't. I have violet for sure. You know what, though? We got a pink in there. We can throw that in the mix, too. Why not? We got straight purple. I don't see an indigo, though. That'll be fine. We're going to do 2 colors of green. Oh. Forgot to put the happy juice in it. This is also the thing that makes it glossy. So that's the thing that makes it difficult for you to see what I'm doing. Puts all that glare in it. That's where that comes from. And I know, I've got my lights on. I could turn them off, but I've also got 4 other cameras rolling, so I need to make sure that they are well lit and exposed properly. And actually, let's check on that one of those cameras, because I got a feeling that I'm going to run out of memory on it. Nah, he's still going good. They both are. Where are we on you? You got 2 hours left. Look at that. Good times. Alright, I'm pretty sure I could throw these in trash. Alright, let's get this guy. Get all that happy juice on. Look at that. Look at that. That is green. I feel that green. That's a good green. I like it. Alright, we're going to work with that one a bit. This one we're going to do a little differently. I'm only going to do the outside edges with this one. Let's see, how do we want to attack that? Okay, those are a little sloppy looking. My paint might be a little too juicy for this, but that's okay. We can work with that. Now I'm going to say that I'm working on the outside edges. But what I mean is I'm going to work outside of these edges. So we're going to do a couple things here. First, I got to give myself a little bit of a platform to work from. Shine. This one I can just pull down this way.
Hi.
Oh, that's right. That's where the paper got warped. That is my fault. All right. Now, we're going to come from this red end over here. Just like that. I'm going to pull it in there. This is a King 13, and I'm using the 7/0 size. Ooh, I must have hit that red. It's alright, we'll clip it. It will be fine. For many, many years, I did not like this brush. And it wasn't until I started using the urethanes and I needed something with a little more flexibility to it that I found a home for this brush. Because this one is super bendy. And it's kind of a good thing, and then kind of also not a good thing. Because it definitely gets in my way at times. Let's clean that up a bit. That line has some... got some issues there. There we go. Okay, that guy's much more better. Now, I'm going to pull one of these. We're going to pull from right here. But see, this extra bendableness, flexibility, bendableness. This extra flexibility gives me the option to do things that I normally reserve for doing with a scroll brush. It gives me just a tiny bit more freedom with some of these designs because of it. So I can pull these curves like this without having to palette out a whole other brush. I mean, obviously I just screwed this one up, but just thicken them up and that cleans out almost all of that issue. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone for a second. I got an idea for where I want to go with that. No, I'm not going to leave it alone. We're just going to go for it. We're just going to go right in and do it. I'm going to pull this right here. Okay. I'm going to pull another one on this side. And from there, this ought to be fun. Let's see how this works. I'm going to try to get this to pull the way I think I can do it. And I'm going to stop it right before I hit the middle. So I'm going to pull it right just past this tip. And I'm going to stop right there. Ha ha! Okay, that worked. Mild triumphant. Mild triumphs. I'm feeling that. That was kind of fun. I got to do it again. There we are. Look at that. I gotta touch that end up a little bit. Wasn't quite nearly as flawless as I wanted, but that's fine. And then I just barely crossed that tip. So, that is what I was trying to accomplish. Good times, huh? Alright. Now let's go all the way in this one. I'm just going to pull a fatty, right? And we're just going to go right around there. And I know, because of KRS-One. And that is, in fact, how I know. Now, I can do one of these. All I really did there was I just pulled a little bit of a dip to get it to arch just a tiny bit when I first started that line. And I'm probably not going to do it the second time. I'm going to try. Oh, there it goes. So what we're going to do from there, I'm going to pull, then I'm going to swoop down here, and then stop it right when it hits that white line. Also prevented myself from singing white lines, and then I just did it to explain that I didn't do it. Ooh, look at that. Alright, that guy's super skinny. Alright. Well, I appreciate you stopping by for as long as you did. Thank you for hanging out. What am I doing with the brushes? What am I doing with the brushes from the previous colors? I rinse them and I'm doing another one. Here, there's a jar of Happy Juice over here. See, that was clear when I started, by the way. But yeah, I just rinse them out and I just start fresh with another color. Yeah, let's see. So let's get that heat gun back over here. Let's check the cameras real quick. Make sure we're still rolling okay. We are in fact still rolling okay. These are going to take forever for that friggin' video to download, isn't it? It's okay. All right. You know, maybe we won't use that secondary green color because I think that is green enough. So let's go straight to the blue, shall we? So, cup. Now, just in case you're wondering, we're using Ronan's urethane. I'm using a very small amount tonight because I'm only doing a couple lines with each one of these colors. Okay. And just like we did with the green, I'm going to stay on the outside of the edges on this one, sort of. Chopper Bob Custom said, hi. Hi, Chopper Bob Customs. How are you? And dare I say, aloha, Cupcake. As you can see, I'm up to no good tonight. Actually, I really should be doing the ornaments, but I wanted to shoot another video. I'll probably be on that other app when I go to do the ornaments, because I have an experiment going on with YouTube right now. All right, how do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? I know exactly how I want to do this. I am going to follow this line right here. I'm going to do one of these little notches right here. Okay. We're going to hit that on the other side too. I go a little boop. Little boop. Alright. Now, see if I can take that angle, right? I'm just going to ride this angle out. Ooh, I like that one. That one was clean. Now, let's see if I can do that twice. That ought to be interesting. We can do this. We can do this. This is not that hard. This is not anything I am unaccustomed to doing. I just usually do it with a scrolling brush. Oh, look at that. We made it. It's not perfect, but we made it. That works out for me. I like that. Okay. Now I'm going to put a big fatty swoop in here. Okay. And we're just going to pull that right into that thing's edge. Look at that. That was fun. I like that. We're just over here doing things that I shouldn't be doing, but that's fine. It's just paint. It's not going to hurt anybody. It might hurt your feelings, but that's a trauma thing. That's not my fault. Well, it might be my fault, but if it is, then we got to have a very different kind of conversation. All right, we're going to pull from the tip of this green notch thing here, and I'm going to pull all the way around it. And this is just going to be a big old round boogie. Speaking of boogies. Look at that. That is from a King 13, boys and girls. This is not the brush for that type of thing. This is a pinstriping brush. It is meant to do stripe work with. I mean, yes, that's stripe work, but that is something that should be reserved for a scroll brush to pull. Did I use a scroll brush? Nope. It's the little things that matter to me, I guess. Boop, right there. Dude, that was okay. I like that one. Okay, we got a couple more to do, and then we're going to move on to that purple. I'm going to come from around. Yeah, let's go from around. So let's do this one. This way I have a visual when I come and do it on the other side. And just right in that little pocket there. Look at that. That was a fun time right there. That was good. I like it. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull a really tight turn right here. Pull it right back in that pocket. Okay, I like that. That one worked very well. Now, let's duplicate that on this other side. So we're coming from all the way over here. I'm going to dip down. And then from there, it's just cake. Oh, look at that. That was smooth. That was smooth. I am not upset with that one bit. It's a little off, but I don't actually care. And then this one here, we're going to come down just a tiny bit. Dip it, pull it. And I'm going to pull it right in that little pocket. Okay, I am definitely feeling that. That was fun. And you say, but Chris, what are you going to do with the rest of it? How dare you question my madness? Oh, I pulled that a little too tight, didn't I? Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Because we're just going to pull one of these. Right there. little lower, little lower, little tiny bit lower. Then I'm gonna pull right in. Just that tip. Okay? All right. Now. Look at that one. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. I got one more color, and then we're done. Can you believe it? I believe it. That was a little thick, but that's okay. It's a little thick. It's fine. We're going to come in and do this. I'm going to stop right at the white line. We'll pull back on the other side. Stop right at that white line again. Okay, I want to tie these ones up a bit, but I don't know how to tie them up. I think I'm going to leave those ones just loosey-goosey. But these long ends over here, I'm going to pull that one right up to the little pocket that I made. And I'll pull one more right up to the pocket on this side. And now, you know what, let's just end those. Let's just end them in here. I'm just gonna follow this other curve that's right here and pull a notch on that. So we just end it. Clean that up a little bit though. Okay. Couple one lines. We're gonna make that a little thicker. All right, we are all done with that blue. All right, let's see how my other two cameras are doing. I know this guy's doing good. He's still going. And we are still going over here, and still going over here. All right, let's prep that purple, shall we? All right. So, for reference, boys and girls, we are still using the Ronin, but this is the purple that we're working. Look at that. This one's gonna be a little different though. There's gonna be a little bit of a sort of like an end to what we're doing with this one. So, and you'll see what I mean here shortly. So we got our purple juice in there. I'm gonna put that guy back before I forget. And yes, I have to remind myself to not forget things. And that's just because I'm on a live. I'm recording a freaking long form video that if I just leave as is, that sucker's gonna be an hour long. Which maybe I should. Maybe I should just edit, leave it as real time, just shoot it from the 3 angles. And then I'll shoot then I'll edit it in a shorter form. I don't hate that idea. I don't know that I'm gonna, you know what, I could probably get away with just leaving the audio track on. I think that, you know what, if I do the real time one, what I'll do is I'll shoot it in 3 angles, I'll leave the audio track on there, and hopefully when I go to edit it, we'll have clean audio. Oh, you know, popsicle stick. See, this is where I have to tell myself what to do. There's all these little details, like mixing this up, make sure that happy juice gets happy, okay? See, this is why we do that. Okay. So one of the cameras just reset, but that's just because it's starting a fresh set of video. It's still recording though. All right. This might be a little too watery. It is too watery, so let's add some more purple in there. Hello, I am Madara Uchina? Help me with that one. What does that mean? Is that your name? Or is that where you are? Or what does that all mean? Also, I apologize for completely butchering the pronunciation of that. I didn't try to butcher it. I was really trying to read that one, but those are a new set of letters for me. Brand new. I have never read anything like that. Well, I have read things like it, but that's a new one for me. Okay, are we ready? Well, we better be. Because we're going to do some of that. Okay. This is still a little bit wet. I'm going to have to dry that out a bit more. But that's okay. Let's do one of these. I hope I don't drop my elbow in there. I'm going to come all the way from this corner. And we're just going to pull it right into. Just like that. Okay. I'm about to clean up that tip, but that's okay. That's just because we're super wet. Yeah. Dare I say, my paint might be too moist. Can you believe it? Yes, I can. All right. Pull that right there. This stuff's super freaking juicy. It's okay. It's also alcohol paper, which the paint adheres to differently than it would if I was working on anything that was clear coated. I like the long video, unedited. I can hear you when you hold your breath. You know what? I'm posting it just because of that comment. Here, just so everybody can hear me, or hear what we said here. I like the long video, unedited. I can hear you when you hold your breath. Little thoughts you're having between lines. I don't feel as odd when I find myself doing the same things. And you know what? I am 100% in. I support that completely. And yes, I'm going to throw that unedited video out there then. That is awesome. That made me feel so freaking good right now. I cannot even tell you how much I appreciate that comment. Okay. Hey, that worked. Look at that. Because see, I know I do a lot of strange things, but I'm the guy huffing paint thinner. So we should expect that. Well, look at that one. Look at that one. Look at that one. All that happy juice. And it's pulling, and it's going to go, and it's going to stop right there. And I know I'm in the way, but look at that. That is symmetry. That is the thing that I cherish most of my work. Cherish most out of my work. I don't know, one of those things. It is something that I have spent a great deal of time working on doing. But when I say working on doing it, what I really mean is that I've been doing it without guidelines. So when I pull a line that works as cleanly as that one did, even if it's slightly off, that's the happy moment right there. And you guys witnessed it live. And in 4K, I think. No, 1080p. This is 1080p, isn't it? Which is fine. 1080p is fine. Nobody hates on 1080p. We've all watched a ton of movies and oh man, I dipped something in that blue paint, didn't I? That had to be my elbow. Mr. Coach Klein, snakes don't exactly have pots. So if I had to say, you was eating his elbow. The scene in The Waterboy when they're eating the roasted snake is probably my favorite scene of any movie with Kathy Bates in it. Just so you know. Because I know you were wondering, Chris, what is your favorite freaking Kathy Bates scene? I was like, well, now you know. And I hope you're more interested in Kathy Bates movies as a result. Don't get me wrong, Misery is a freaking beast. All right. We're getting to that time, though. Because, see, this is the last color. I'm going to leave some big gaps in this. But I'm going to leave them for a very fun reason here shortly. Oh, look at that one. Okay, so it's not exactly symmetrical because the other side's slightly off. But I did that one as clean as I could. So that is good timers right there. This purple paint being just ever so slightly too watered down is working flawlessly for me right now. Like, it is definitely not something I would recommend you do. But it's having some fun results. Like right there. That little whatever that is. And then we're going to make that worse. So I'm going to come out and we're going to go. I think we're going to dip out. And pull right back up to it. Which I really should have done this on the other side first so I could see what I'm doing. Okay. Now what we're going to do. If this works. Okay, so I'm going to pull it right up to that. Okay. Bear with me, boys and girls. Because now I got to start working on the other side before I try to pull that one all the way over. Okay. And yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. So I'm going to come down and around in a swoop, yeah? Just like this. Just like, oh, that's gloppy. That's probably not good. It's fine. It's just paint. Okay, that is not how I wanted that one to go, but that's all right. So what we'll do is we'll just fatten things up on the other side. Don't worry, we can fix it. Actually, no, I can't, because I don't want to. I think I want to leave it. I mean, I'm going to make this side a little bit thicker, sure. Just like this. And then what we're going to do... No, that worked, actually. That's fine. That one worked really well, actually. I'm a little surprised, but that's okay. All right, so this one, though, I started right there. Okay. Ooh, that pulled real well right there. Like that was clean. I like that one. You're gonna do it again, though. That one was not quite as clean. All right, you guys ready for the fun one? This is my favorite one, okay? The reason it's my favorite is because this is the thing that I do. See, some people tell me they can't draw a straight line. I'm like, straight line, homie. Let me show you. See, I got you a straight line. Look at that. Now, because I don't want to drag my fingers in there. Hey. We are going to do that. I have to do it upside down, so I got to do it a little bit backwards, but that's okay. I think we go to about there. Maybe we go to about there. Oh, I went a little too far, but that's okay. All right, cupcakes. There we have it. The only oh, we're not done. Shit! Look at that. I thought I was done. Look at me. Dum. How do I want to finish that one? Okay, here's how I'm going to finish that one. I'm going to try. Let's see if I can pull it in there. Just pull it right in. And we'll stop at that first white line right there. Ooh, look at that one. That one came out real good. All right, next one. I'm gonna pull right up there, come around, and we're gonna swing that sucker in. Then we're gonna stop right there. Ah! Okay, that I'm gonna call complete. All right, so boys and girls, I appreciate you all being here for tonight. I'm gonna stop all these cameras though